Hey, groovy cats and chicks. It's me, Rock Savage, the world's most dangerous filmmaker, here at the offices of the Savage Film Group, where we work hard to make good entertainment and still working hard on post production and on my new film. We got two scenes shot for it, but we're waiting until the weather breaks for we can do some outdoor scenes, so we'll wait until spring and we'll be doing some action scenes and everything. There'll be action and lots of good stuff going on. And of course, as usual, in the Savage Film Group, as is our trademark, political incorrectness. So, anyway, that being said, today's show is about underground filmmaking. I call it underground filmmaking. A lot of people say, well, you're an independent filmmaker, Rock. Well, yes and no. I'm independent, but my style is more underground, if you know what I mean. Independent filmmakers basically try to copy what they see Hollywood doing, and that's always a big mistake. Shouldn't do that. Not at all. You should always basically do your own thing. You're if since you're not working with a studio, you make the film you want to make. Now, you want to tell a story. My opinion, of course, is that you should stick to traditional storytelling like a beginning, a middle, and an end. However, the story should be anything you want. It should probably be something that Hollywood wouldn't dare do. Or, do it, make it be a throwback to, make it in the style of drive in movies or, grindhouse movies would be the way to go. But this is just me. But that's basically where I go. So I want to talk about underground filmmaking, you know, and one of the things I need to mention is I literally started as a filmmaker. I shot everything on film. And the difference between being a filmmaker and a director, people like Lucas and Spielberg do not edit or they don't even do the cinematography for their own movies. They have a cinematographer assigned to them from the studio, but basically I did everything myself, just like the greats, Herschel Gordon Lewis and Dave Friedman and those cats. But I pretty much did it all. I even starred in my own films. Of course, nobody ever accused me of being an actor, but yeah, pretty much I did it all. Directed. I wrote the script. I directed, produced, starred, and I edited. That was the part I hated the most. Since I suffer from migraines, sometimes the editing process was so tedious that it would trigger one of my migraines up here, and this eye would go out of focus. So it was very unpleasant to edit. Even though editing on film, well, the reason that was so stressful, it wasn't as complicated as having to do edits on computers. Some people like it better, I guess. But um, basically, if you cut the film wrong, because if you're an underground or independent filmmaker, you don't have a big budget to get a work print to practice on and say, oh, I have it cut the way I want now. Now let me work on the other one and we'll duplicate the cuts. No, you had one shot to get it right. And if you didn't, you messed up that film. You had to reshoot. Fortunately, I never messed up in editing, but it was very, very stressful. So when we went to digital video, which was great because my friend Marvin Kennedy was able to manipulate the images and use filters to make it look like film, which was what I wanted. I didn't want it to look like a sleazy soap opera. Uh, the first experience with digital editing was uh, my friend Rob Lippert, who now resides in Arizona. He took when we shot Max Blood, Vampire Spy. We took all the film and we transferred it to a 3/4 inch tape, and then he edited it on on a thing called the Video Toaster, which doesn't exist no more, but it was a brilliant editing system and made it look very polished. But we were still shooting on film and all the way up until the 21st century. So my last movie shot on film I believe, was Hard Boiled Heroes, and that was in 1999. And then we switched totally to digital video, and I didn't. I was so happy not having to edit because I did have to edit Hard Boiled. Um, I believe I edited Hard Boiled Heroes on film again, and terrible, terrible. I mean, not terrible, but it came out good, but painful. So anyway, a lot of people don't realize the internet didn't have it. We didn't have YouTube with all these great instructional videos there. We had film magazines, and a lot of them were incredibly useful and terrific. And so I want to do some show and tell, and we're going to go to. I'm going to show you some of these great film magazines. If you ever see them at conventions, I recommend you get them because even though the stuff is shot on film, and they're talking about film editing and film this and film that, there are a few that did talk about video editing as well, but there are special effects that they can, practical effects that really won't cost you hardly any money, and great ways and shortcuts to make your films look great. And I would recommend, that's why I would recommend these magazines, like Forced Perspectives. It's amazing what you can do with that. That's an in-camera effect. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Before we go any further and we do the show and tell with these amazing magazines, and two of them were published by filmmakers themselves, Don Dohler and John Russo, who I will get to as soon as I show you their magazines. First of all, I would suggest, if you want to see my earlier films, I would recommend the double feature of A Taste of Flesh and Mummy of Gorgor. The two first films we made was shot on film. Lots of blood, guts, and gore. And of course, I play Harry Gross, the occult investigator. So there's lots of old school action in there. And I highly recommend those two. You can go to my website, www.savaagefilmgroup.com, and click on there, and it will take you to the Etsy store, which in turn, not only can you buy the movies there, you can buy some great merchandise and T-shirts. And so, we always give good service, so I highly recommend you go there after the video's over. Or maybe you could go there now and buy some stuff and then come back later. I don't know. You do what you feel comfortable with. But come on, let's go take a look at the film magazines right now. We got some show and tell to do. All right, cool cats and chicks, here we are. It's time for show and tell. And we'll start off with the small fanzines. There were fanzines that were giving tips on filmmaking in the 1990s, because back then they still had these oversized camcorders, and people were mostly using video for home movies. People who were serious about making films were still shooting on film. So let's talk about this one here. This one is called Celluloid All. And let's take a peek here let's take a peek inside here. This was done by fans. As you can see, it's got some technical stuff here going on. A lot of good stuff. The print is kind of small now, but it's still pretty cool, with lots of tips on. See, a lot of tips on independent, or should I say underground filmmaker. And it's really, really good stuff here. You can see, lasted a few issues here. Really good stuff there. This is an interesting article here about the Russian cameras. So when we started getting buddy with Russia, because it was no longer the Soviet Union, they were making these cheap cameras for filmmakers, and this is a 16 millimeter Russian camera, and it was wind up. They also had the version where they had batteries, but this is the wind up one. that was really cheap, and so that young people could get into filmmaking. They also had a Super 8 version of this. And I never bothered to get one. I'm glad I didn't now because even though they were good quality, um, eventually we all switched to video. But really nice cameras from what I understand. Anyway, next, In Motion. This is video. Now, the only reason I'm whipping this one out, yeah, it's kind of a boring magazine here, really nothing interesting. But look at the cover. See, if you can see the cover, that's a video suite. It says Video Dream Suites. See that? It's got all this stuff and monitors and everything. Yeah, so like I said, it says Video Dream Suites. If you take a good look at it, it's got all the monitors there and all this high-tech stuff. And here's your control panels right here in the corner there. See, there it is. Let me tell you something that's ironic. This magazine came out in 1988. Did you know that everything that you see here in this Video Dream Suite that would cost you a couple of grand, several grands, well, your computer can do everything this Dream Video Suite can do. That's right, your computer can probably do this with the proper software and everything. So that's a bit ironic, isn't it? The independent film and video. I got a beef with these guys, man. Let me tell you about these. Also, a very boring magazine. You know, it's basically all. It's everything that's wrong with filmmaking is in this magazine. It's all the movies are by people with whiny little subject matters. Oh my goodness, we live in a terrible world. Oh, I want to do a film about marginalized people. Ooh, terrible, terrible. And I was a member of the Independent Film and Video Association, which did no good for advancing any film careers that I wanted, or advancing my film company, actually, because I never really wanted to work for anyone else. So they were really quite useless. And yeah, I got another. I used to have a subscription to this crap. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, terrible, terrible. When my membership expired, I didn't renew, to say the least. You know, it was just totally asinine and everything. Now here's one that's much more interesting. It says Making Movies, Film School in a Magazine. A little bit risque cover there, but not too bad compared to everything else on the internet. This is made by none other than, this magazine is put out by John Russo. If you look right there, John Russo. Yes, he wrote the screenplay for a movie you may have heard of called Night of the Living Dead. That's right, he wrote Night of the Living Dead. There he is. He's talking about cameras here. See, hang on a second here. Oh, I got everything out of control here. Yeah, look at that. That's a great camera. That's another great camera. 16mm cameras. Very good. See, whoa. Now watch out here. Come on, John. John was a dirty old man. He made a few soft R-rated nudie cuties. Very naughty, John. Shame on you. Well, no. Okay. This, that's a sample copy called Real Images. Yeah, this is a sample copy of a thing called Real Image. And I have, I like the magazine. I'm not going to lie. It's a good stuff. It's good stuff, but unfortunately, you see, 1998, yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you something. They had some ads here. Yeah, see, it's all about Super 8 filmmaking. I used to shoot in Super 8. And see, it's got a lot of good articles on it. But in the back of this magazine, it had. See, I used to get stock footage to put some nude ladies in my films because actresses actresses that get naked, they like, well, let me tell you something. They charge money. And when you got a low budget, you can't afford that, so you buy stock footage. So they had they had ads in the back of these magazines with people selling all sorts of nudie cutie strippers, women running around naked in the woods, and all that good jazz. And anyway, this gentleman, and I use the term loosely because I really have issues with this guy. I mean, look, this ain't published anymore anyway. But let me tell you something. Let's see if he wrote. Yeah, this is crazy because, okay, he had ads already for guys selling a lot of raunchy stuff. So I put in an ad saying that I was looking for, for any footage of, women stripping or, just, the stuff that they used to do in apartment store in apartments where girls are just doing a little strip tease here and there, because that way you put it in, insert it in the film at the right time. It looks really great in your movie, and I could incorporate it into the plot somehow. Just to have a little break from all the violence, you put a little bit of TNA there. So anyway, here it goes. Let me read the ridiculous reply. And I did talk to him on the phone because I was kind of pissed. Okay, thank you for your subscription, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I can't print your classified. This is a family-orientated magazine. Feel free to use um, your free classified or something like that, your classified ad at any time during the year. Best wishes, pretentious, moral asshole. That's what it should say. It doesn't say that, but he is. Okay, so I called him up and I confronted him with this. Do you know why I confronted him with him? Because it's like, okay, well, what happened that in this issue, the first one he sent me, what happened that I'm reading the back here? Let's see. There's some ads here, classified. Hey, let's see, where is that? Yeah, they got quite a few, you know, quite a few ads. Here we go. Oh my goodness. One guy's got an ad here for Triple X movies. My God. So what changed between issue 2 and 3, right? He says, "Oh, I'm a born again Christian now." Now look, I don't got anything against anyone that's religious. I mean, more power to you. But boy, you switched horses really quick between winter and spring of 1998. This guy became born again. Oh God. Talk about my luck, right? Anyway, I got pissed and I canceled my subscription, because I said, just send me the remainder of my money. And that's why I only have 2 issues. Because I said, this is BS, man. Come on now. Oh, now I'm born again Christian and naked women are terrible. Okay, Adam and Eve were naked. And it said they were naked and not ashamed. So anyway, this guy was I just considered him very disingenuous, if you know what I mean. It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm born again. Okay, well, whatever. Between issue 2 and 3, between winter and spring, right? Okay, whatever. Cinemagic. This magazine, this is the Starlog version of it, which is not bad at all. This has how to make some special wiring effects. They even used to have a short film search. Not too crazy about war shows. I love the fact that there were people who read Cinemagic. If you look right here, it's absolutely amazing. The sets here of a spaceship and just incredible effects that these young filmmakers would do. I don't know if anybody ever became, this is one of my favorite issues, the secrets of graphic gore. Just marvelous. Let's get this one on the road. Okay, let's go. So we're on our way here, buddy. There we are. Secrets of graphic gore. Um, yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna. I don't know. There's just. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, no, I'm wondering if I can. If YouTube is going to get upset about all this crap or not. So I may have to you may have to be you may be watching this on Rumble because but yeah, like look, there's a good gory head there. Yeah, I mean, after all, we are talking about filmmaking, and they tell you where you can get all your stuff here. As you can see, here's the young lady looking pretty, and there she is, not looking so hot. Um, and this is special effects guy that worked for the great Don Dohler, and lots of great advice on making films and everything here. And of course, back then we were shooting on film, but video was already out. But you could transfer. It was recommending places where you could transfer your movie to videotape. How to create your own optical printer. Before the computers could print the credits on your film and all that good jazz, you had to use an optical printer. Showed how to make your own. Let's go through these because I want to show you. This video's taking longer than I expected. You can see more Cinemagic, but this is the Star Wars Cinemagic. Well, this is amazing cinema, but we're going to get to this. Don Dohler he was the creator of Cinemagic. This is an original Cinemagic magazine. Let me take this out of here so you can see this better. Yeah, Don Dohler is from Maryland, and I was originally a Maryland filmmaker too, along with Don Dohler and John Waters. Of course, I never. John Waters really was underground, man. I'll tell you, that guy was groundbreaking, and he was bold. Yeah. Anyway, this is Cinemagic, the original Cinemagic, published by Don Dohler, which is really a great magazine because he was a real filmmaker. And he made his movie, got the Alien Factor, got into theaters in Baltimore, and later was bought by television stations. So he was really successful. There's some artwork for the Alien Factor movie poster. Promotional artwork. It's been on VHS and DVD. I have the DVD of this. And I met Don quite a few times at conventions. We met at Balticon, where my movie Over Your Dead Body was shown, and his movie Vampire Sisters was shown there. So we both had our movies shown at the same time. Anyway, he made the mistake of selling Cinemagic to Starlog. He didn't like what they did with it, so he brought back Amazing Cinema, which again, much better, actually better magazine. This is one of Don Dohler's horror films, Fiend, which is a good movie. It's very simply made, and it just is terrific and suspenseful. And he got all his family members in it, and they were pretty good. It was, you work with what you have. And see, there we go. It's Fiend. That's also on DVD. I have that. That's a great movie. Okay. Now, so pretty much that wraps it up for our underground filmmaking magazines. Now, let's go through one of these. Let's go through Amazing Cinema. There's promotional artwork for Fiend, and this showing some more technical aspects. Again, since none of you are going to be shooting on film, I would be surprised if you were. The rest of the stuff is that may not be a part that you would like, but let me tell you, it's got, again, practical effects that you would still work on video, like creating realistic tabletop scenery. And There are cameras, I'm sure, that you can do stop motion with. You don't need to use the CGI. CGI looks like crap, in my opinion, and I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, the Savage Film Group will never use CGI. Knock wood that I, as long as I'm alive. And we will never use artificial intelligence. Everything is made by human beings. So let's get that straight right now here. Now I'm going to show you something else before I signed off. I want to show you something because this is show and tell. And I'm going to move the camera up here. Let's see if I can find. There it is. We'll get a zoom in a close up of this. Get a little bit wide angle. Got a little bit of a reflection there, unfortunately. See where it says. Let's see if I can move it up there a little better here. That's a problem when trying to shoot in an office, man, in a very tight office. Okay, it says Balticon Sunday Movies, hosted by Chainsaw Sally. By the way, I'm in the movie Chainsaw Sally. Got a small role. You can see the movies being shown, Knife in the Grave, Vampire Sisters, the second one there. Let's see if I can get closer here. Jeez, why is it so blurry? Come on now. It's Knife in the Grave, Vampire Sisters, and Space Box or whatever, Silver Screen, and the last one there is Over Your Dead Body, which is from the Savage Film Group. So, yeah, we're in the same. Don Doler and I had our films shown there at the same time. Poor Don is no longer with us, unfortunately. Passed away of lung cancer. It's very sad. Really nice guy. I really liked chatting with him about films whenever I was at the convention. We never got to do anything together because, he was busy doing his thing and I was busy doing mine. So, but anyway, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, groovy cats and chicks, that ends it for this episode of the Rock Savage Show here, the Savage Film Group, on your whatever platform you happen to be watching us on. Anyway, I need you all to stay groovy. And if you're making films, you keep making them. But we want to see drive-in movies and grindhouse movies. We don't want to see none of that boring stuff about people whining about how marginalized they are, okay? You make some good movies we can all enjoy. Anyway, take it easy and stay groovy.